Hey, how you doing? Let's have a conversation about how the flow of information impacts an organization's operation. Please join me on this journey of knowledge dissemination. Enjoy the video. Successful knowledge management is heavily impacted by how well people interact with each other. In a modern environment, technology is frequently leveraged to facilitate the capture, storage, and usage of business-critical know-how. Unfortunately, sometimes business needs conflict with resource constraints, policies, and priorities of IT departments. Unsurprisingly, shadow IT can emerge when workers believe that their ability to do their job is jeopardized due to the inadequacies of existing systems and setups. To put it simply, shadow IT is any technology solution used without the approval and formal support of the IT department. Okay, so what's the why? In 2019, a research paper published in the International Journal of Information Systems and Project Management by authors Stefan Klotz, Andreas Kopper, Marcus Westner, and Suzanne Strahringer. The research focused on 107 literature items selected from various academic and professional-oriented databases. Their findings suggest that the motivating force behind shadow IT is due to misalignment between IT and other business units 41% of the time. IT system shortcomings also represented 41% of the cited reasons. Personally, I wouldn't necessarily say that shadow IT is inherently bad or good. It truly depends on the context. As with many things, there are benefits and there are risks. For example, sometimes there is a temporal aspect to information. If there is an urgent need to identify a solution, a department or worker may feel compelled to bypass the IT department for the sake of productivity. From an IT perspective, it sounds like red flags all over the place. But when people are concerned about their jobs, they may feel pressured to do what they perceive as their rational self-interest in order to get work done. The sometimes ad hoc nature of shadow IT is not always about bad intentions. It is sometimes as simple as implementing low-cost solutions that need to fill the gaps in business processes. I frequently mention the value of IT becoming a business partner with other business units, and this is precisely why. Consider this. Is it better that shadow IT is visible or hidden? Again, shadow IT primarily describes technology that is not officially supported. IT can be aware of its existence or unaware. From a risk management perspective, IT at least has a fighting chance if it at least knows which systems are being used. The alternative is to still incur risks but simply not be aware of it. Such a partnership would provide IT the relationship capital needed to understand the driving force behind shadow IT. Additionally, obtaining such valuable insights can help prevent things such as denial about shadow IT's existence, an overreaction followed by draconian efforts to immediately take control, allowing biases to block genuine discussion about systematic problems, etc. When having these conversations, knowing your audience is crucial. A paper titled "What Drives the End User to Build a Feral Information System," authored by Anthony Sparings, Don Kerr, and Luke Houghton, was presented in 2012 at the Australasian Conference on Information Systems. The paper identifies 4 quadrants for the modes of operations as it relates to IT systems: submit, dismiss, hidden, defiant. In the submit quadrant, the end user has low access to transformative capacity and insufficient IT skills to overcome corporate roadblocks. There is little option but to submit to the enterprise system. In the dismiss quadrant, the end user has high access to transformative capacity but still only has low IT skills. The end user has openly refused to use the enterprise system, and systems proponents are powerless in the face of this defiance. In rejecting the sanctioned system, the end user places the problem back in the proponent's lap to solve. In the hidden quadrant, the end user has perceived low access to transformative capacity, but some level of IT skills. The end user develops a shadow IT system to prop up their production function so they can meet the conflicting demands of poor information system fit and baseline productivity levels. In the defiant quadrant, the user has high access to transformative capacity and a certain level of IT skills. In this mode, the shadow IT systems openly function inside the business. The enterprise system proponents have few resource mechanisms to shut it down. Complicating matters, the end user is self-aware that they can block punitive actions aimed against the development and use of shadow IT. For example, they may be so important that the organization cannot afford to take sanctions against the end user. To do so could see a valuable means of production walk out the door. Alternatively, the end user may be operating under the sponsorship of a senior executive. This senior executive is in a position to block any modes of sanction that is to traverse the organization's hierarchy. If there is a solid business case for shadow IT, then perhaps coordination between IT and the other business units can give way to a reimagined environment that supports the productivity end users need. Shadow IT should not be taken lightly. There are critical security implications. According to a 2012 report released by cybersecurity firm Crowdstrike and research firm Vanson Bourne, 28% of respondents say that shadow IT prevents easy detection of system breaches. So, what happens after shadow IT systems are identified? There are 4 potential outcomes. You could phase out the system, you could replace the system, you could continue as an IT managed system, or you could continue as a business managed system. Attempts to completely eliminate shadow IT might very well be a Sisyphean task. Therefore, the next best alternative should be to put the risk into the appropriate context. 2 widely organizations, 1, the ISO International Organization of Standardization, and 2, the IEC International Electrotechnical Commission, have developed a process widely considered as best practice for evaluating information security risk to systems. The objectives are to establish the context, identify the risk, analyze the risk, evaluate the risk, treat the risk, accept the risk, and monitor the risk. Additionally, something like a RACI matrix helps stakeholder management in establishing clear roles for information systems governance. RACI, R-A-C-I, responsible, accountable, consented, and informed. Essentially, this is a framework that formally integrates elements of shadow IT into the business process of an organization. Outcomes can include things such as continuous improvement, innovation, consolidating systems and data silos, and much more. In conclusion, shadow IT could be symptomatic of deeper issues within an organization. The success of any KM initiative requires effective collaboration between IT and other business units. People are a core component to KM, and understanding which tools they use and why they use them is a critical step to ensuring that the right information is available to the right people at the right time. Thank you for watching. I encourage you to provide feedback and participate in this conversation. Comment, subscribe, like, visit my website. I'd love to hear other perspectives because knowledge is for everyone.